Welcome to the channel again, folks. Today I'm doing patterns for grade 9. Specifically, we are doing a linear pattern. Now, what is a linear pattern? A linear pattern is that pattern which has a constant difference between successive terms. In this case, we are given 7, 4, 1. They say to us, we must write down the next two terms of the sequence. Now, for us to be able to do that, we must know what is happening in this sequence. If you say term number 2 minus term number 1, it would give you minus 3. When you take 1, which is term number 3, you subtract term number 2 from term number 3, you will get a negative 3. Now you know that the difference between successive terms is constant and it is minus 3. That tells you that to move from this term to that term, you must add negative 3 into this term. When you do that, it would give you negative 2. To move from this term to this term, you must add negative 3 into this term, which is negative 2. When you do that, it would give you negative 5. That means our next two terms for this particular number pattern would be negative 2 and negative 5. The next question says, describe the number pattern or describe the pattern in question 1.1.1 in your words. Now, what do they want here? They want you to tell in your words what is happening in this particular pattern as it is building up. Now, if you look at it, term number 2 minus term number 1 is negative 3. Term number 3 minus term number 2 is negative 3. Term number 4 minus term number 3 is negative 3. Now, in my own words, I can say that to move to the next term, I need to subtract 3 from the previous term. 7 minus 3 is 4. 4 minus 3 is 1. 1 minus 3 is minus 2. Minus 2 minus 3 is minus 5. Or, if I don't say that, I can say add negative 3 to the predecessor to get the successor. Now, let's see how I answer that. My answer is subtract 3 from the previous term to get the next term of the pattern. I have described this pattern in words here. Next, they say to us, write down the general term of the sequence in the form Tn is equals to something. Folks, I want you to understand that the general term means any term of that particular sequence. Now, we want you to write it in a form Tn. What is Tn? Capital T is for term, and small n is for the position. Now, if you look at your linear number pattern for starters, your linear number pattern is defined by Tn, which is equals to An plus a C. What is A? A is your constant difference between successive terms. I have said N is the position of the terms. C is the constant number which would be added or subtracted into the product of the constant difference and the position in order to obtain the term. Now, what I did first is I get A, which is the constant difference, by taking term number 2 and subtracting term number 1, which is 4 minus 7, which is negative 3. 1 minus 4, which is a negative 3. Now, from this, I know that A is equals to a negative 3. Now, knowing that A is equals to a negative 3, next step, I substitute the value of A where I see A, which is minus 3. Now, it gives me Tn, which is equals to minus 3n plus a C. Now, I'm saying to myself, if term number 1 is equals to 7, then what would be the value of C? Term number 1 is equals to 7. From that, I go to this. I substitute 1. It says term number 1 is minus 3 times 1. Now, term number 1 is negative 7. Remember? Then I put, term number 1 is 7. Then I put 7 there, which is equals to negative 3 times 1 plus a C. Now, the unknown is only C in this case. I simplify this. Negative 3 times 1 is negative 3. I take negative 3 to the other side of the equal sign. It becomes positive. Then, this side, I'm left with C now. I can see that C is going to be 7 plus 3, which is equals to 10. Remember, the question was, write down the general term of the sequence in the form Tn. Now, I know that A is equals to negative 3, which is there. C is equals to 10, which is there. I substitute Tn is equals to minus 3n plus 10. Folks, this is the general term of this sequence. General term means if I want to find any term in this sequence, I must use this equation. Let's move on to the questions again. The next question says to us now, find the 20th term in this sequence. The 20th is the position of the term that we are looking for. Now, let's see how to tackle this. Remember, first of all, any term in this sequence is minus 3n plus 10. But specifically, we are looking for term number 20. That is why I'm going to put 20 in place of n and 20 there, which is the position. Now, doing that, we get term number 20, which is equal to minus 3 times 20. We simplify this. Minus 3 times 20 is a negative 60. Negative 60 plus 10 is negative 50. That means term number 20 in the given sequence will be negative 50. Let's move on to the next question. Be careful with this one. The difference between this question and this question is the fact that here we were given the position, but in this one we are given the term that occupies that position. They say, which term in this sequence is equals to minus 23? Now we need to find the position. In this one, we needed to find the term itself. Which term is term number 23? Now, how do we tackle such a question? Let me take you step by step, folks. First of all, I'm going to start by saying minus 23 can be any term in this sequence. Remember, I said Tn means any term. Now, I don't know the position of minus 23. I'm allocating it any position. But what I know is the fact that any position of this sequence is negative 3n plus a 10. I move on. Therefore, it means minus 23 is minus 3n plus a 10. I simplify this. I group like terms by taking positive 10 to this side, it becomes negative 10. Now, minus 3n is equals to minus 23 minus 10, which is minus 3n is equals to now negative 33. Remember, we add when we have the common sign. We add and take the common sign there. Then from here, I know now that negative 3n is negative 33, but I don't want negative 3n. I want n specifically. That is why I'm going to divide both sides by negative 3 so that I cancel negative 3 here. I'm left with n. I divide this side also by negative 3. What you do on the left-hand side must be done on the right-hand side to keep the equation correct. Now, when doing this, negative 33 divided by negative 3 is positive 11. That means n is equals to 11. Therefore, answering the question, I would say minus 23 is term number 11. Thank you very much, folks. Hope you understand linear number patterns. Please subscribe to the channel and turn on your notification for the new videos and tell your friends about the channel. Bye-bye.